And there's always going to be a good opportunity. There's always going to be a good invitation. There's always going to be another, good door open, right? But every good door open is not a good door for you. Not every good invitation is a good invitation for you. Think about this. Not every opportunity that's good is a good opportunity for you. We've got to be led by God when it comes to opportunities. We've got to be led by God when it comes to our schedule. We've got to be led by God when it comes to our time, our month, our year, our day, our week, our minutes, our seconds. Think about it. We don't have time to waste here. And I believe that God has given us a time now of space and grace to really kick butt in the spirit and accelerate and do some things dramatically and radically that seemed to have been held up, but they have not been held up. They've been saved for. A lot of us have been thinking, man, God, you've been holding things up in my life. And actually, God has been saving things up for you. For your life. There are some things that you needed to work out in your life. There's some things that you needed to get in order in your life. There's some things I needed to get in order in my life. There's an order. Watch this. Order does not mean that you're a bad person. Order does not mean that you're an evil, wicked person. Order is simply this, like Dr. Miles Monroe says. Order is simply the proper arrangement of things. Order is the proper arrangement of things. Man, what a blessing it is for us when our lives are in order, when our health is in order, when our finances are in order, when our relationships are in order. Now, listen, I don't believe that we're going to achieve, and I hope you don't believe this either, that we're going to achieve perfection while we're here on earth, but we can surely strive for it. We can strive to be our best in all these areas, right? We can say, I'm not going to settle I'm going to rise and I'm going to soar because I know there's more, right? There's more for me. God has more for me. He's able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that you can ask or think, according to what? According to his power working in you. There is more, right? God has more for you. God's got more stored up for you. But in order to get the more of God, you've got to release the good. Release just the givens, the things that we just have gotten the routine of doing. Sometimes we do things because we've always done them. Sometimes we say yes to things because we've always said yes to certain things. And let me tell you something, people, this is a season of time we cannot say yes to all things. Just because someone invites you to a birthday party does not obligate you to go. Now, I'm not trying to be hateful, mean, or nasty, but you can't go to everybody's birthday party. You can't go to everybody's shower. Think about this. You can't go to every retirement party. You can't go to every graduation. You can't go to every hospital visit. You can't do, I mean, that's all you would be doing. Think about it. You have to be selective. Now, I'm not saying that we should be mean, nasty, that we shouldn't be giving, servant-oriented people. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you can't just run around serving everybody and then losing yourself. You can't run around doing all kinds of things and not walking in the plan of God. When we're not walking in the plan of God, frustration kicks in. When we're not walking in the plan of God, think about this. Destruction kicks in. All kinds of things begin to happen. Even when we are facing difficulty, when you're in the plan of God, things work out. They simply work out somehow. But when you're not in the plan of God, man, things are really hard. Right? Things are really challenging. You really do have to grind, right? Because you're on that grind system. We want to get out of the grind system and get into the kingdom. Seek ye first, Matthew 6:33 says, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all the things we need shall be added unto us. If I want the addition of the things I need added to my life, then what I must do is seek God's way of doing things. And God's way of doing things is not hustle, 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 grind, grind, grind. It's more like pray, 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 and say, and believe, 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 and receive, receive, receive. Now, it doesn't mean that we don't go to work. It doesn't mean that we don't put our hand on something, but there's a lot more prayer and spiritual involvement when you're a believer than just hustling and grinding. Because if it's just hustling and grinding and it's up to me only, then why do I even have God in the picture? Think about this. Man, I should be doing more than the world. You should be doing, and we can, and we will, and we are going to do more than the world because we have God on our side. But we've got to make room so we have capacity to do the God projects. And when God starts making room in your life, you're not going to lose relationships, but you're going to have to recategorize relationships. It doesn't mean that you're better. Doesn't mean that you're bitter. It means that you can't spend all your time with certain people if you're going to get laser focused on what God's called you to do. And I hope you're hearing me in the right tense and right tone. I'm not saying we're going to be mean to people. I'm not saying we're cutting people off. What I'm saying is there are some relationships that are good relationships, but they just take up time. They just take up space, right? And that time and space can be used now to move the needle in your own life, to move the needle in your own finances, to move the needle in your own self-care plan. We have got to make room for space and place for us so we can be more effective for others. Listen, the better you is the better servant. This, the healthier you is the healthier servant. We're all called to serve, and we're going to serve, but we can serve at a greater capacity when we've learned how to serve ourselves. And I don't mean in a narcissistic way. I'm not talking about as me, and I, and it's all about me. I'm talking about when you start taking care of you. Taking care of your emotional health, taking care of your mental health, taking care of your physical health, taking care of, most importantly, your spiritual about this. We have to feed these areas if they're going to grow. And the way we grow in these areas is we get intentional about it, right? We get clear